Hello everyone. Let's try and make a slightly jazzier intro here. I'm going to go to File, New, Title, or Control T, and make an alternate Title 1. Okay, so what I'm interested in here is the Path Type tool in order to get something a little more interesting. So I'm going to use my pen tool that comes with it and click and drag to make some curves to make our text be like a roller coaster here. Maybe one more right there. Then we'll actually type on it. Spot the difference. I'm going to select it and make my text a little larger by clicking and dragging on the font, and as you can see, it'll go right along that path. Now the problem here is in between my two words, so I'm going to add some extra spaces, and I also see that this is a pretty sharp angle, so difference doesn't look so good. So if I click on one of those points, I should get some handles here, and let's see if I can get it to smooth out a little bit. May also want to add an extra point. Let's see if I can do that. So if I click on that and use the add a point, I'm going to click one more time and then bring it down a little bit. Maybe a little bit of an angle. Let's see if I can go back to my regular pen and grab this and see what I can do with it. Okay, so let's see what else. I got a capital I in there, so I'm going to fix that. Then use my move tool and bring it in so it's in a good spot. Now I'd like the spot the difference to have a companion that's a little different. So I'm going to Control C, Control V and move the copy down, and then go into that and change up my angles. So if this one starts at the top and then this goes down, we'll just make it go a little differently than the one above it. So where one goes up, the other one goes down. Okay. Now that extra space really isn't needed. And let's see. Play around with it a little bit to get something a little different. Let me extend that. Alright, so I'm not going to worry about the letters just yet because I want to choose a different font. Something somewhat dramatically different. There we go. And make it smaller. Spot the difference. And that doesn't look too bad. So one of the other things I'd like to do is probably change up the colors a little bit. Maybe have a red one down here and an O up here that is green. And then let's see, how about an E on the other side and make it a different color as well. I expect, I would like you to come up with some other creative differences that you can make on yours. Highlight that E and make it, how about a nice bright blue. I'll also bold it. No, it doesn't have a bold for this font. Okay, so I've got two different ways of saying spot the difference. Now I'm going to use regular text and draw another box to say by your name. Bye Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, and then a second line that's got the website on it. So let's see if I can do that. Go back to here. I believe this one is the landscape one. Let me go back to my original. I want to make sure that I've got the right URL. And look at my comments. This is Blue World Aquarium. So I'm going to put image from Blue World Aquarium. I'm going to select all of that, make it smaller just so I can see it, and then pick a different font altogether. Looks good. Let me increase the size. And we've got ourselves another intro that looks a little more interesting than the one before. I'm going to do alternate title, remove this one, and once again make it 3 seconds long, more or less, just a little shorter, and get an effect on there. There are lots of different ways of making that appear, so we could have it do some sort of special effect, a wipe perhaps, maybe a band wipe, to have it appear, and then we want to make it disappear that way. Band wipe at the end. All right, let's see what that looks like. So it starts out with a nice clear intro and disappears so that we can begin playing the game. But it's nice and clear and easy to read right at first, again, because this cross dissolve is longer, so because it can't be seen very easily. Because otherwise it wouldn't be very visible once the picture appears. It is possible to make that very easy to see by selecting all of your text and playing with the shadow. So if we take the shadow and increase the opacity but reduce the distance to 0, we're going to see that size and spread will make an outline that's kind of fuzzy, but will help it be easier to read. We're going to do the same thing for these. Again, the shadow turned on, opacity to 100, distance to 0, increase the size and the spread. You usually have to find your own numbers here, but you don't want it to be a distance because that actually makes it harder to read. You want it to turn into essentially a glow around the words. Shadow, opacity 100, but distance to 0. Sorry to repeat myself, but I usually have to do this several times to get folks to quite understand exactly how this works. We'll spot the difference down a little bit more. Maybe having it curved down here would be better, but we can even rotate it a little bit. Alright, so what you'll notice is that even once the picture has appeared over here, the letters are still very easy to read. You can make any color visible on any background with this trick.